Hello. Um, is my microphone working? That's the question. Yeah, it looks like it is. Hang on, no one's watching anyway, apparently. Oh, cool. Hello, Kaylin. Yes, you are first. I should have typed that in the chat for the meme. What's the delay like? Like, send a message when you first heard that thing. And so I guess we should just, if I change the what did I say? Sorry, you couldn't hear. Yeah, I congratulated you on being first, and currently you look like the only one viewer, so Unuka, yes, it's absolutely beautiful. So if we change that to Domino, also, what's the frame rate like? Because like I'm trying to stream in, I'm trying to stream in 1080p, and I haven't done that before because I haven't had a 1080p screen until the last few weeks. So, let's control click all of these tracks so that we can actually see what's going on. Oh, you're leaving pretty quickly. Um, See ya. So, well, we've got 4 people watching. Yeah, 720p gang, except it's actually 768p gang because laptop screens are weird. Anyway, let's just have a listen to the changes that. Oh, that smooth FPS. That's good. Let's do a few transition things. So let's go have a look at the video's sponsor. Since last time I had to add the little "this is a joke" thing. Do I sound awkward? Yeah, probably. Yeah, tips sound more confident. Voice reveal was 3 episodes. No, actually 2 episodes ago now because I didn't use my voice in the first one, which made it horrible and silent. Yeah, so sound more confident. Easier said than done. As we all know, I am just a naturally confident person. Face reveal when? As soon as I clean up. No, I'm never going to clean up my room, so no. And I don't have a green screen, so I can't just hide the evidence. Um, so sound more confident. I'm trying. Also, can people tell me what the delay is like? I'm reading out the live chat as it comes through. So like I don't know. Hello. So presumably it's working. So let's do the balancing the audio thing again because from memory, because I've changed my setup around a lot since last time I live streamed, so the volumes are probably going to be all whack. So there is some delay. Okay. It should be hopefully better than it was last time because I changed one of the settings on YouTube and yeah, Michael Jackson will be under my bed. I don't know what that means, but it is terrifying. It's 10 to 20 seconds. I presume you mean seconds, not minutes, because I've only been streaming for 5 minutes. Yeah, 10-second delay. That's better than last time. That's what I should do actually. I should see if I can get my MIDI keyboard. The night's part, rising up and yeah, we'll we'll get to doing the fixes in a moment. Let's just hit play and then try and sort out stuff. So what's this volume like? Like, can you hear me properly? Even though it's playing. 10-second delay. Oh, that's good. So it's working. Okay, so I had a really good idea. I'm going to get my MIDI controller and we can use that because, yeah, I spent a lot more money than I probably should have on a MIDI controller and I need to use it. So, oh, it barely fits on my desk as well. So plug that in and plug that in. And you probably heard the notification sound thing too. So MIDI control. Yeah, it doesn't even work that well with Domino either. Make the coffin meme sound, please. Well, let's see. No, it's not playing into Domino yet, so we need to. You can't actually see the Domino settings window because I completely can't get the whatchamacallit thing to work. The desktop capture thing on Streamlabs, so it's just I'm having to do a window capture. Also, congratulations on being a potato. Let's see. So did this work? No, I still can't hear it. I hope we don't have to restart Domino to get this to work because that would be downright depressing. So what about if we open up the Omni MIDI configurator? You can't hear me. Hang on. You can't hear me at all. My microphone says that it's working fine, so let's see. Use test MIDI input. So MIDI input, let's go launch key. Yep, so it is receiving things in Omni MIDI, so good. You can only hear the music when it plays. So if I'm talking now, can you hear me? Like now? It's probably a bit loud, but so it is receiving notes when I push down buttons on the keyboard. But so what happens if I go to the Domino settings and try. Sorry, I should have sorted this out beforehand. So if we go to, let's just remove the MIDI device and then let's try adding it again. Hey! So now we can do the requested. I hate that delay. Is there a thing in Omni MIDI to fix that? So output buffer 30 milliseconds, that's not that long. So I think it's a problem with Dominoes. So because that's like a quarter-second delay on the MIDI keyboard, so I hear it a quarter-second later. Sorry for being bored. Let's have a listen to let's. Yeah, so that works. I'm not adding Aranos because like it's one of my compositions. Well, it kind of is because it's a collaboration, but still don't want to do that. But let's listen now. And if you guys find any issues with it or something, please say them in the chat or something so that we can fix them up. And yeah, it is Frolin. Hi. No, Frolian? I don't know how to pronounce your name at all. Hey, Yui's new songs, I don't think we're up to the bit where we're really adding songs, sadly. Like, we've reached the finale. Like, it's 17 minutes too, so. And I'm gonna turn that down a tiny bit. So that's hopefully a better volume. Thank God we can hear Oi, AU a bit from this. I'm bad at English, sorry. And then we've surprised Big Chunkus as well, so. Hey, someone found one of the changes. And so maybe add spaces between the fast drums. So which ones were those? I think it was the ones right at the end. So, no, that's too far. We weren't even up to that yet. So, yes, Megalovania, it's beautiful. So in Bad Apple, yeah. So I presume you mean these ones. So let's try halving the gate of those. So it's Control B and then you go to gate and divide by 2. And it makes them half. So what happens if we do that? What does that look like? That looks considerably better. So yeah, I think that worked a lot. I think that sounded cleaner too. Let's hear it without the change. So yeah, it sounds a lot better when it's got when those are shorter. Could we fix that in the in this bit too? So what happens if we grab those and we divide by 2 as well? I think that's a lot cleaner. Also these ones as well. I think they're probably good because like they sound like. What happens if we? Oh god. What happens if we Control B divide by 2 on the gate for those? Oh. We could probably turn those up a little bit too. So Control B, not gate velocity, plus 10 maybe. Yeah, that's probably a lot better. Now I just need to go through the whole thing of only unmuting the tracks that won't lag it to death. That part, just multiply it by 1.33. As in the gate or the velocity, or what's the velocity like? It's like 100 or so. So while we wait for an answer, let's hear it. I hate the 10-second delay so much. Yeah, that's good. You can, yes, the Nuka 3 thumbnail. It's the Unuka 3. It's one of the channels we made in the Discord server. It's absolutely beautiful. Hello, hello, Mr. Black Midi. Sorry, you're gonna 10-second delay again. So let's play from there and see if we can find any more things to fix up. Yes, Unu. I can't decide whether I love it or hate it either. So, but oh well. Yeah, I probably sound like HDSQ because that's who I am. Who's Jazza? cool. Yeah, that's probably because I'm Aussie, so yeah, Australia, mate. Sorry. First big change coming up now. There you go. Sadly, I can't actually search people up and listen to them and stuff because YouTube copyright would murder me, and I don't want that. But maybe after the live stream ends. No, it's all good. Don't say sorry. It's all good. It's not your fault that YouTube's terrible. So before I forget, did everyone notice the difference in you and Owen was her? Because I spent quite a while fixing that up the other day. Like it's my favorite YouTuber. Um, I honestly don't know. Similar melody to Coffin Dance. Which part? Septee for the Dead Princess. And let's hear that. Wow, we listened through a lot of it, so let's change that to a yeah RST. Sorry. Sorry, my piano playing is terrible because it's out of sync. And I can't figure out how to fix it. Last time I tried to fix it, I broke Domino and had to delete the settings window, the settings configuration file. Death Waltz 2. I don't think we're adding any more songs at the moment unless you can find ways to fit them inside other songs. How am I going? I'm going pretty well. University holidays, so I have nothing to do with my life except Unify, and I have no issues with that. And hello. Okay, so just pausing it to actually reply to comments because apparently the audio makes it really, really hard to hear me. So music was too loud, so I can't add in the Cantina Dance band from Star Wars because I can't think of anywhere to fit it, but if we can find somewhere to fit it, please tell me because that would be beautiful. And then again, an electric guitar solo out of 9KX2 would be absolutely amazing. Please, if you make that, please send it to me. I want to hear that. And God Pitch Bend, yes, it is God Pitch Bend. Such a funny thumbnail. The creator of it must be an amazing person. They certainly are, Lucas MIDI. They certainly are. So we were up to 9KX2, weren't we? Now, sounds like a guitar, so. So what's the part at the end that can blend pretty well? The part of finale has a similar melody to Aranos. And I can't visualize that while it's playing, but yeah, I can imagine that being true because it's like it has half the tempo, so they fit quite well together. And yes, I did finally do your feedback, so it's better to add some Confident Dance melody in the intro part of Set Tip the Dead Princess, maybe. Let's look at that. So, Set Tip for the Dead Princess. Oh, yuck. We need to... What is going on with that modulation? Let's turn that back down to... sorry, 0. Let's see what other things have modulation on them. There's a bunch of ones that have cut filters on them, but no modulation, thankfully. And I'll fix up the cut stuff some other time because it'll take ages. Because I think that's a problem with the funnels earlier in the song. So let's listen to that again and figure out where we can put it in. So the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is that Coffin Dance is probably going to die out as a meme in a few weeks' time. So when we released Unify, it would, like the final version, it would age terribly. But let's hear it just to see. So. Now let's make it quiet so that we don't make it really terrible. So let's... Meme history sponsored by Unify. That is a brilliant concept. It'd be really funny for Unify 2. We do just a meme compilation. So anyway, let's hear this. That worked surprisingly well. So What can we do for? I know what we can do. We can do the second part of the Common Dance melody. So I think I think that's all we really want to do because otherwise it would just be too terrible. So I think that was a tiny bit too quiet with those ones. So that worked pretty well. I think we should keep that. What does everyone think? Yeah, I think we should keep that. But let's Beta 12 revision 3 should be named Meme History sponsored by Unify revision update. I it's a great concept, but like I'm already making it the Eddie Walters pedantic update because I've done tons of fixes already that he's suggested. So it's like, you know, Remy theme with Astronomia. Yes, it's so what were we going to? We were going to this bit. The only thing I used Omino for is making audio MIDIs. Yeah, it's pretty good for that actually. It's a really good workflow, but it works quite well for black MIDIs as well, except for the fact that you don't have vertical flipping or patterns. But like, I've got a concept for my own MIDI editor which I want to make sometime, except for the fact that I'm really terrible at coding, but hopefully it should get the good parts of Domino out, and I don't know, we'll see. So I think the main thing we need to look at there is if we actually scroll over to it. Um, I put a pitch bend in here somewhere, and I don't know what I was thinking. So if we go to pitch bend, yep, there it is. That's terrible. Um, yeah, get rid of that. And now hopefully that's better. The transition things seem too long. So which transition in particular? The one that goes to Voyage 1969, because I really like that one. Yeah, I'll soon discover the part of the finale that has no similar to Aramis, the note strike things. So the note stripe things, that is this bit. Do you mean the note art like those things? Note that, yes. Note that. I presume you mean note art? Yes. Let's see what happens if we shorten those. So let's go to the conductor score and Alt N5 and then change that to a 0.5 and then wait. So that does look better, I think. Lucas MIDI says no though, so let's compare. Oh yeah, good legit run judger. That's a good point because like this crash just absolutely kills things. So you can use these things to figure out how long you've lagged for. Because as we all know, people don't just use the melody to figure that out. But yeah. So I wonder what this would sound like on an old-timey player piano. Someone did black a black MIDI on a player piano once, and I didn't I nerf that crash a bit? Yes, I did, and I haven't actually tested it yet. But the thing is that then I unnerfed it just before I started live streaming because I was fixing these chopped things so that they would actually be chopped properly. So no, not those ones. It was that one, I think. So I'm not actually sure how it will perform. I'm gonna have to do a bunch of performance testing after we've finished this live stream, so that like I'll legit run it on my laptop, and I'll get a few other people to legit run it, so that I can figure out how much it lags, so that we can actually get a decent amount of lag rather than it absolutely killing things. Like I'm a little bit worried the final crash will do. Yeah, we were up to here. Correct a few keys by the end of it. That doesn't surprise me. Hi HSQ, how are you? I am pretty good. I'm enjoying the live streaming. I'm not enjoying being terrible at English, even though it's my first language. But oh well. Let's stop it right there and listen to the end. We want Voyage 1969, and then we want to listen from the end of this to because it just something really lags here, and I'm not sure what it is. So let's. So I'm a tiny bit while I'm talking over the piano. So let's go to the filters thing. So I don't have any filters applied. Can we do a? I don't know how to do a compressor though. So let's do some gain, and then we'll do a +3 gain. So what does that make my voice like? That probably makes it 3 decibels louder. So um, how's this now? Hey, thanks for the donation as well. That's really cool. So My voice is good now. That's good. So let's try again in the louder section. Is this a good volume? And now we got the 10 seconds. I'll actually see the live stream because there's not a delay. It's down. 4 decibels would be good. Let's do that now. Filters, and let's go 4.1. These are too lazy to get it exactly right, so is this better? Okay, that's good. So I think I might have noticed a bad chord there, so let's go to that and listen again. So there's, it's G minor, so that was a D bass there, so yep. Do the chords behind it change? So that one changes. That changes too late, so we need to do that. Should fix that bit. These probably need fixing, so those are just all the same, so no, they're not all the same. Genova, what is Genova? I don't know what that is. So we need to fix the last 2 beats of that, so that's actually okay. It mostly fits the chord. Let's change what happens if we change those 2? That probably sounds better because that would be a D7 chord, no, D minor 7 chord, which would hopefully fit better. Except we need to, because the chord change is actually there, so song from Final Fantasy that has B flat major 7th arpeggios in the beginning. Is it possible to re-edit my part? You want to add more notes to it? Yes, please do that. That would be really awesome. Although I think the main thing you need to look at is I had to do a lot of things with the funnels, like, because they're really, if we look at the gate of that is gate 10, which is, considering we're at 960 ppq, that's really, really short notes. So they just overrun everything unless you make them really quiet. So I think taking a look at those is probably the most important thing, but more notes would also be really, really cool. If you want, send you the domino part for what I've actually got in this file, and you can work from there, because that way you don't need to kind of try and do the edits that I've already done. I'll do that now. Let's launch another domino window, and you won't be able to see it because I don't have desktop. I can't get desktop capture to work, and I can't figure out why. But let's copy from there, and we'll copy to there, and then we can go to here, delete all of the stuff that Domino puts in by default, and then change the part settings to 960 ppq, and paste. Oh wait, we don't have enough tracks, do we? We need to just, I'm just going to add a ton of tracks, and they're all going to be on terrible channels, so you'll probably have to fix that yourself because it takes a while to do. But I can't, I'm going to quickly Google. It won't let me copy text from Streamlabs. That's unfortunate, okay? If anyone speaks Korean, can they translate that, please? Hello. So if we listen to that, yep, that works. So I can save a domino file of that, and I can call it last summer, and I will send that to you as soon as it says good morning. Oh, cool, good morning. So I've saved that as a domino file, and I'll send it across to you after we're finished live streaming. Yeah, Google Translate would probably be good with simple phrases. It's just when you get things like, oh, we've got a buffering logo. Does that mean that it's a buffering emoji? Sorry, does that mean that it's buffering? Oh dear. Is the video stream all good, everyone? Like, particularly. Last summer sounds like One Direction. No, we're not going to add any One Direction songs for this. I have standards. Oh, that's why I muted all of the tracks. That last song from Beta 10 Revision 1. What was the last song in Beta 10 Revision 1? Let's go to Unify Updates and scroll all the way back to Beta 10 Revision 1. The delayed update. I don't actually know what the last song is from Beta 10 Revision 1, so yeah. I can't remember that far back. There was such a long delay in Unify updates when I was doing year 12. Let's unmute all of these tracks and listen through Blue Sky though. We're gonna fix that. That shouldn't be there. First of all, let's get rid of all of the extra things there. And let's put those on a different track. So just discovered that the last part of Beta 11R1 Blue Sky can be similar to Blue Zenith. Blue Zenith was a something that was a Black MIDI, I think, but I can't remember it at all. I might be entirely wrong as well. Let's go to Google Translate and I'll translate that message myself. And we'll find out if, yes, it does let you copy it. Hello, I am a Korean fan. Very cool. So it's really cool having so many people watching all of my stuff from all around the world. Although technically this in particular isn't my stuff because there's like 50 people that have worked on this and then even more people that have given feedback and stuff. So it doesn't really count. Aus- Austrian fan. Hello from the country which people always confuse you with. That's right, we were going to fix this. So we were going to let's alt n and then 4 to unchop it, and then let's take it 2 beats across so that we can chop it with. Let's just copy that across there actually, and then we'll take a few beats across and we'll chop it with the pattern of the last bar. So let's select those and then Alt and A to chop, and then you can hit enter and it will have chopped that in the pattern that it found in the previous bar. So then we can delete that and then drag that back 727 pp, 30 pp. I don't know what any of those are. So, oh no, don't tell me I dragged it wrong. Let's try again. There we go. Performance points. Okay, oh, that'd be OSU, wouldn't it? That's the clicky game. That goes down too low, so let's try that. Yeah, the clicky game. Exactly. That's what OSU is in my eyes. I think we can add like one of these things to the end of it as well. So what does that looks pretty decent, and we will unchop that because that would look less terrible. So yeah, that works. And that funnel that probably needs some chopping. So I think we should chop it with that pattern and then Alt and A and then enter. And yeah, that worked. Wow, that's actually more chopped than I thought it would be. Let's see, how does that sound? That sounds too much. Let's try that. 2014 me bugging Gingius on how to make an edited MIDI because I thought it was easier than making a no lag video. Yeah, I don't think I knew that Black MIDI existed in 2014. My first video was in 2016, and I was trying to make Black MIDIs for about 6 months before then in MuseScore. Don't recommend it at all. There's one person in the Unify server who really likes MuseScore, and yeah, it's great, but only when you're doing sheet music. In fact, I use it for sheet music a lot of the time, but it doesn't work for Black MIDIs. After you get to about 60,000 notes, it just completely dies. And I know that because 90% of the note art for my first MIDI ever was made in it, and I had to split it through about six different files. Death Waltz, but in 3/4 time. Yes, that was fun. I want to make a good a quote unquote good version of that. But it'll have to wait until is Domino much better than FL Studio, or is it down to preference? I like Domino better for Black Minis because it's better in terms of performance, and it's got a few nice features that make it easier to manage things so that you don't get stuttery things, because a lot of the time on FL Studio, I'll undo this afterwards, but when it exports things, if you have a lot of patterns, they can all get merged down to only 3 or 4 tracks if you're not careful. So like you'd end up with, say, that put on top of that, and that's not good because that sounds like you can't actually hear it that much, never mind. But it sounds bad, just trust me. So you just get stuff like that all the time in FL Studio, and it's really annoying trying to figure everything out to make it not work like that. And also there's the other thing that FL Studio costs a lot of money. So like I use it for proper music production. Like when I did Nightfall, I did quite a lot of the stuff in that. But it's not great when you want to do Black MIDIs, I don't think. I've tried a few times, but the only thing it has going for it is the claw machine, which is the thing that you can use to make funnels really easily. Yes, Cry in FL Studio Mobile. I have that on my phone, and it's really useful for getting quick ideas down, but not much past that because it's just mobile interfaces aren't good for music. Anyway, let's keep listening to Unify so that we don't get too distracted. Vertical flip, yes, that too, sorry. This is why you like bass so much. Yes, bass is absolutely amazing. The only problem is that with Black MIDIs, it's really easy to lose the bass line. So like, you'll hear it when we get to the finale. I've done like 3 or 4 tracks with the bass line on it so that it doesn't sound too top heavy. Like not in this section, obviously, but you know. Oh, that's right. I need to listen for the Aranos melody too, don't I? I'll try and play it along actually, because I've got my MIDI controller here and I haven't used it enough. It's really delayed, but oh well. Oh, hi Eden as well. Oh yeah, it's got the same chord progression as Aranos too. So, except for this chord here, because this is a C minor instead of an E diminished. Oh, that's cool, someone stumbled across it randomly, so I can't read because my second screen's too far away. I need to fix that sometime. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to know, we're making a song that's impossible piano, so all of these things are notes. So this is another thing that I've changed since the last update, so like... So let's listen to that again because I want to hear what you guys think of that. So 586, bar 586. So that's the bit where I just stopped it, and we're going to listen again. So I'll listen to that. You know what? We could actually secretly hide that in there. So it's is that the trap? Yes, it is. So that's too long. So we need to Aranus and Bad Apple. Yes. Um, they're they're a few, hang on, Aranus and Bad Apple. So I didn't think that through. I don't think that'd work so well. Oh wow, things really don't actually show up. You can't actually see the drop down menus either, so you can't see me changing the length of the notes. Wow, that's pretty sad. So looks like a Flowey boss fight. I can't. Flowey's the one from Undertale, which is a game that I haven't played but I need to. So yeah, I need to play that sometime, and I don't know who any of the characters are because I haven't played it yet. Let's listen to that in context. So we need to. I hate how you have to manually unmute everything if you don't want to listen to the entire. Let's actually let we can copy paste that because I don't think we want to do this the Roger McCauley part of the melody. Um, Oh, hey, Rando here. Just wanted to say I love your stuff. Thank you so much for doing what you do. Much love. Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you. I'm glad that you enjoy it, actually. That's really cool. So let's hear this with the Aranos melody in it. So it's really in the background because it's not a thing that I'd want to have right at the front, but it should be audible if people listen for it. So could could you guys hear that could you guys hear that properly? And also thanks for all the love, guys. That's really nice of you. I, I think it needs to be a tiny bit louder. In fact, we could actually have it gradually getting louder over the course of that thing. That's probably good. So the counter melody fits that transition. Well, that transition for the first bar. That's good. So that works really well. I want to add a little Unify melody reference thing. Like, I don't know, ages and ages and ages ago, I did an update where I hit a heap of I'll quickly find one. Um, it's right at the most of them are right near the start, but just yeah, one of these ones. Uh, let's add one of those in. So not last summer. It's such a I got to like 613 bars. This is crazy. Oh, I need to unmute stuff too. I'll just unmute everything for the moment, and then I'm gonna forget to mute everything, and it'll lag in 5 minutes time. But it's just saves so much time. So that last bar we can fit one, so. Imagine one part of Unify where every collaborator has to make an 8-bar melody and merge them together to one place. I wonder what would happen. There is actually, you just reminded me, there is a thing that some person from somewhere did. I won't actually play the video because copyright claim issues, but I'll send a link to it. If we search for 300 music 300 musicians and then music by 300 strangers. So if you search for music by 300 strangers and then it's by the YouTube channel Spitfire Audio, you'll find a thing where a lot of people did that, and it was so you had one person putting them together and choosing the arrangement and stuff, which is kind of like this. Oh, hi, Core Skate as well. So oh yeah, enjoy your lunch, by the way. Yeah, it's way past lunchtime here as well. I should probably have lunch in a while after I finish streaming. So yeah, we are working on the finale, so we're just kind of. I think that needs to be an octave up. So that is an L10 and O, and then an L10 then an O, and it moves it up an octave. I think it needs to be quieter as well. So let's try that. Imagine if HSQ added when U isn't home in Unify. I would totally laugh. You might laugh, but I would cry. That would be terrible. Like actually, legitimately terrible. It would hurt. And it would also hurt my computer, which is already struggling with what's the CPU usage like when we do this? Yeah, 50% or so while we're streaming and nothing's going on. So a deblacked one. I don't know. I think that meme just got driven so far into the ground. Literally everyone did it when Blank isn't home. Add the coffin dance in Unify. Oh, we added that actually. So we did add that, and I'll quickly play it because I'm. It's been 6 years and people in the Black Media community are still doing stuff with that. Yes, I know it's terrible, and I'm proud to say that I did a slight variation on it. Like my one ended up being just Donald Trump sound font. Absolutely best thing ever. That is your coffin dance. I can't remember who suggested it either. I will go through the chat replay after this is finished because like they need credit in the update log. So we were doing the finale and we were up to this. So let's. Now what? I think there was a clash there. So let's hear that, and then it was that one. Let's get rid of the sus4 there. I don't think this works so well an octave up either, so let's move that down. So what is that? That's not clashing with anything. That's good. Yeah, that works really well. Oh wait, no, we need to mute a heap of things because all of those things are playing, and that would absolutely kill Domino, and we don't need that in our lives. So let's click, 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 click. There we go. That should hopefully sound quite similar because I try to keep all of the things that you can actually hear on the first on all of the things going up to channel 11, and then 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16 are for note art, and that way you don't get notes cutting each other off. Pro tip: if you make black midis, always do that. Yes, Aranos in the finale, that also gets some, I think that should also get some credit in the update log because that one works really well as well. So let's hear this now. Yeah, can you hear the Aranos? Let's listen to that now. So it's this bit here. Hmm. Enjoy lunch, Frolian. I Froilan. I'm never gonna get the pronunciation right. Sorry. Yeah. So that's Aranos. You can barely hear it, but it is there, kind of. It's just not very loud, but it adds to the whole. I really like just these 4 bars are really good. So, fun fact: this finale is the closest thing anyone will ever get to me making a two-hit black midi because of the bad apple counter melody. Wait, there's a bad apple counter melody? I haven't. I've listened to this so many times and I still haven't heard it. So let's. It's probably in this bit. So sorry, right after the final crash. So no, the bad apple counter melody. I think he's talking about a counter melody in the finale that has bad apples. So hang on, after the first crash. Hang on, so it's probably this one. That's not bad apple. I think we might have accidentally replaced it with Aranos. so it's now Aranos. That's unused. That's unused. So hang on. It's unused, so it didn't end up going in. Is that what you mean? Because it would be so sad if we accidentally replaced it with Aranos. Oh no. It works really well as Aranos, though. Don't worry. We'll see if we can add it in somewhere else because I can think of a few other sections where it could go. Oh no, though. It's so. Let's find somewhere else. Which bad apple melody did you use? No, I thought that the melody thing you were showing was an unused thing from the FLP. No, I haven't even opened the FLP. I just it imported in the MIDI file. Is there actually unused content in the FLP? Because if there is, I'll have to have a listen to it because there could be useful things in there. How did I accidentally make Aranos? We didn't accidentally make Aranos. We did it on purpose. Someone said that bar 586, which is that one, they said that it sounded like Aranos, so we just made it Aranos. So yeah. Anyway, let's put bad apple in at 500. Oh yeah, I don't know. English is confusing. Let's go to bar 594 and let's see if we can find a spot to put bad apple. I think there's a good spot. Someone could make a boss battle out of this. Yeah, I can see that happening. And so hang on, let's hear that. So we couldn't actually hear that at all because they're not rendered independently. So the actual so I was just thinking. So you have that one. Also, sorry for being bad at piano. I promise I'm not this good. I promise I am better when I don't have a 20 millisecond, 200 millisecond delay or something. So, and let's find something to chop that with actually, because what's that? That is chopped. That's good. So we can grab that and put it here. And L10A, I said A, my keyboard is not behaving. So on the last octave note, we need to make a glissando. Let's chop this first, though. And I think we need to kind of do these things so that you can actually hear the individual notes. So in the background, it kind of sounds like someone is banging on the piano. Yes, that would be that, which is someone banging on the piano, basically. We were on this track, and we would, yeah, piano drums do be like that. And that should hopefully. Yeah, that works. Black MIDI drum solo, I tried that once and it was pretty terrible. It's if I think it was in when I did an arrangement of He Lives in You years and years ago. I tried to do a drum solo and it didn't go so great. Don't recommend. Yeah, so this has this song actually has quite a lot of drums going on, and if you look, there's whenever you can see a huge cluster of yeah, wait HDSQ streams. Yes, I do sometimes. It's only been a recent thing like this year, but it has been happening. So anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of drums, and because when you do a lot of notes close together, like it sounds like a drum. I'll put that down a few octaves so that it sounds a lot more like it. This is just me taking both hands and smashing them on the keyboard. Sounds like a drum. I did a drum solo in Ghostbusters. Yeah, I probably did because that was a highly low effort, and I was just doing things that I thought would be funny. So let's hear this again, and I think that needs to. Let's try slurring the notes actually. Since I started making electronic music, I stopped using black MIDI drums entirely. I just use normal house style kicks, which actually sound very nice with black MIDI when mixed well. Yeah, that I've I've yet to find a way to use black MIDI drums without making it sound completely out of place. Yeah, they are very, very difficult to get right. I've been trying for ages. Let's fix these up so that we have slurs, and then let's make that one die out faster because at the moment it just rings on for way too long. Funny thing is that Ghostbusters is the next recommended video. That's kind of sad because it's probably the second worst thing I've ever made. Black MIDI sounds like a punk band playing several thousand pianos, playing many songs with different pianos, some broken, some in excellent shape. Listen to the drum solos in some of my MIDIs that show that drum solos in black MIDIs are possible. Yeah, I like the drums in your MIDIs actually. They're really cool. Everyone, if you want to, check out the Romanticist because he does cool stuff. He's like me except better. Yeah, I think that worked better. So let's just listen to this and then we get to, oh, welcome back. How's your lunch? You were the one that left to have lunch, right? You missed Aranos, so now we've got Aranos hidden in here, and we've also got a Unify thing, and we've got a Bad Apple thing, and we accidentally deleted Bad Apple from earlier in the MIDI, I think. So let's quickly just listen to here because that's where all of the major changes have really happened. Wow, everyone's having lunch at the moment. That's really cool. We've got like all of them. Yeah, sorry, we did accidentally delete that apple. Whoops. Oh. Yeah, 1 a.m. That'd be. Oh yeah, because USA gang. Yeah. Australia and Asia and all of those countries, it's like midday at the moment, or 3 p.m. for me, but yeah. By 3 o'clock, do you mean 3 p.m. or 3 a.m.? Oh, 3 p.m. Oh, cool, like Australia time zones, gang. Hmm. Oh, cool. Someone likes the ending. Cool, Scat, you did your job properly. Well, not just him, because it was like Eddie Waltz, Cool Skate, Arch, um, Rape, Knock, and me. That was like this was probably the most. No, it wasn't because we had the 10 p.m. in Canada as well. But Canada has a lot of time zones though, so the very last note collapsing. Do you mean like a pitch bend down? So is that on a port by itself? Yes, it is. So let's listen to that. So if we are at 0, so oh yuck. Let's try. I don't like that. Let's just keep that 0. Yeah, so can anyone else think of anything that we need to? Oh, the velocity keeps glitching. So on the very last note, the velocity keeps glitching. Let's listen to that. That sounds pretty much fine on my end. So pitch bends, why can't you get them consistent across the board for all tracks? Probably because domino pitch bends are completely whack sometimes. Like sometimes I'll actually go and let's go back here and draw some pitch bends just to demonstrate. So like if you so like at the moment, if we do a pitch bend there, it's going up an octave. And but sometimes it only goes up a tone, and I can't figure out when it goes up a tone and when it goes up an octave, so it's confusing. I I need to look at the proper MIDI standard because probably different MIDI synthesizers do it differently or something. So I can't figure out what happens when. If someone can figure that out, please tell me. Good, that is in the right pitch. So let's just listen to from here again and see if we can find any final issues to any final issues with the stream with not the stream because the stream is working hopefully perfectly. So let's just who uses two MIDI synths at once? No one, I don't think. Technically, if I go to my MIDI, you guys can't see that. That's right. Omni MIDI and something else. My I can use my MIDI controller as a MIDI synth, but I don't think it works that well. Virtual MIDI synth is pretty terrible. Um, I can also use my audio interface as a MIDI synthesizer as well, but I don't have any hardware MIDI devices to plug into it though, so I don't. But let's just listen to this all the way through, and if anyone finds any problems whatsoever, other than the fact that we deleted Bad Apple because that's really sad, and I'm not sure if we'll be able to add it back without removing Aranos because it might get too crowded. But let's see. And yeah, we are still going after 1 hour and 22 minutes. Not too shabby. Did I forget you? No, you were the first person here, I think. You don't really know how to play the piano, but you figured out how to play Megalovania. That's the only song you need to play. That's good. Figured out how to play Twinkle 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 Little Star. That's not as good as Megalovania. Yeah, learn Megalovania. At one point I was learning Megalovania on clarinet, which was a lot of fun. It works really well actually. You used to play piano, you were playing for 40 years, then you died of old age. F's in the chat, please. So that's the end part of the finale. So, oh, good, we're getting the F's in the chat going. So the Mario Kart lick, is that like the lick except Mario Kart? So are we going to add the conclusion that Eddie Waltz made? Yes, we are, but that's for the very, very last update. So we're not adding that yet. That's going to be the surprise. So you used to play the piano for about 12 years, but then you gave up. That's kind of sad. You should pick it up again so that you can make black midis because knowing how to play piano helps a lot. Um, so yeah, I technically don't play piano because I haven't had any lessons whatsoever. So like, oh yes, get it. I'm impressed that you didn't add Bohemian Rhapsody, but if we did, we would get copyright strike. You suck at everything, including piano. You just need to practice more. I don't recognize that model of piano at all. Sorry, this is just the whole me reading out comments. So you want to learn MIDI? Well, good place to start. I will actually put the download link to practice 40 hours a day. That's the strategy. Um, so if I'll see if I've got my actual domino folder in my Google Drive so that I can put a download link into the video description. That's a good idea. So if we go to documents and then we have Domino MIDI, we can copy paste that and we will get a copy of it, and then we can delete the ini files because then, and now we should be able to send that to a zipped folder. I do really want to learn MIDI, so yes, I do have Discord. It's HDSQ number 2154. I'll put that. Otherwise, if you join the Unify server, the link is in the video description. Then you can I'm in that, and you could probably ask people for help there as well. So um, so generally, I don't really do friend requests except for people who I've actually talked to before. So like you're best off just sending me a DM straight away without the friend request, or just joining a server and talking to me, joining the Unify server and talking to me there, because that's probably where I'm most active. So we have sent Domino MIDI into a zipped folder, and then we can upload it to Google Drive. Sorry, you guys can't see this. It's like I can't get a desktop capture going at all, and I can't figure out why. So I'm just kind of having, let's just find a good spot of Unify. No, actually, I've got a better idea. Let's go to this video's sponsor section while I upload it to Google Drive. Why is there no Black Media for Beginners guide? I want to make one sometime, and it will be really difficult. So let me send a thumbnail in #Unify. It's already in #Unify. That's where I've been getting my thumbnails from. And it's really great crowdsourcing. So we want to go to drive.google.com and add that to favorites, actually, because and then we can upload the Domino MIDI file, and it will take a few seconds to upload because that's how internet works in Australia. Black MIDIs, you just know it or you don't. That is not true at all, because it's a whole thing where you have to learn it. So like when I first made MIDIs, it was really terrible. I'm thinking that I should make a remixed version of the first MIDI that I ever made sometime. So I'm going to edit the description right now. So Domino download, and we don't want to full screen it, and then we can go colon and then paste the link. And then what else did we want to do? We wanted to do something else. No, we don't need to. I can't remember it anyway. So let's save that. And now, if anyone wants to download Domino, you can if you refresh this page, it should update the video description, which so that should make it so that you can. Let's go back to Domino now. So it should make it so that yeah, I'll probably accept your friend request in a moment. So yeah, you want to get into Black Media, but you can't make melodies for beans. Well, easiest thing to do is to start off. I'd say start off by making arrangements of other songs. Oh, you don't have to refresh. That's even better. Don't refresh the page then. Oh, hello, Frederick. So yeah, if you want to make Black Midis, I think the easiest thing to do is to just choose a song that you know pretty well, and preferably an upbeat one, because that'll make life a lot easier, and transcribe that, because then you don't need to worry about making the melodies for stuff. Oh, you can't download Domino. That's actually kind of bad, because there aren't really any good alternatives for iPad or iPhone or any other phone. So Music theory versus blacking, I think, are semi-different things. No, you need a lot of music theory if you want to make black MIDI sound any good. And yeah, I started making my original compositions before I transcribed songs as well. And I am not going to black so happy because that sounds pretty terrible. And I've already done the world's happiest jingle, and that was a work of beauty. So crappy laptop probably couldn't run it anyways. It probably can because this program is. Let's go to the about window. Yeah, copyright 2007, 2013. So it's like pretty old. Like next Black MIDI when? Um, I'm working on something, but it probably won't be done for another month or so. And at the moment, we're doing Unify. But anyway, I think does let's just play through a few more all of the major changes we've done this update. So adding the note art might be different itself. So you don't need a lot of music theory in general for making black MIDIs or music in general. You only need to know the basics. Yeah, you don't need that much, but the more you know, the more useful it will be. So yeah, practice is the only thing you can do. Like I think none of my MIDIs were good until I had been going for at least a year and a half. But anyway, we were going to listen to the major changes we had done. So let's go from Night of Nights. Beginner's guide when? As soon as I get the motivation. MIDI CC things, they're like control change things, so it's like if you, and I'll pause it so that I can explain it. So MIDI CC things are control things, so like you use it to control things. Like if I go to this view here, you can actually see you've got the velocity things, which are with notes, and then you've got volume, then you've got expression, which is volume, except it changes other things, then pan, and then pitch bend, and modulation, and hold, and cut off, and other things. Yeah. So basically, you don't need to worry about MIDI CC things too much because they don't have that much use. You only really need to do notes and velocities, like because velocity is how strongly a note is played. Like if we go to that track, you can hear that note's quite soft. That one's a bit louder. That one's even louder, and then that's a stronger one. So each one subsequently has a higher velocity. If you open up that thing, you can actually see the velocities are going up. Playing this on your phone in MIDI Voyager, MIDI Voyager is actually really well optimized though, so you don't need to worry too much. Unless you're on a really low end phone, such as me. So we were up to here. So the main thing I want you guys to have a listen to is I've done a bunch of fixes on You and Ellen Was Her so that it's hopefully better now. So like, can you guys listen to it and tell me if it sounds better than it did in previous updates because it was pretty terrible in previous updates. Um, Domino doesn't auto reset the MIDI CC value when you pause. There is no way to fix that whatsoever. You just need to do things like I don't know. I just kind of have my own. It sounds relatively the same. Yeah, it should sound relatively the same, but I've done things like I've turned. There was so much filling stuff that was MIDI CC is the little control thing, so like reverb, pitch bend, that sort of thing. And Domino doesn't automatically reset things. So how long does it take me on average to make a MIDI? On most of my projects, I kind of actually I say somewhere in the description where it how long it took me to make it, because Domino does a really great thing where if you open up the it doesn't actually show you when I do this, but like you can see that I've had this project open for 2 hours and 1 minute and 2 seconds, but that's entirely because it's reached the it's reached the number of notes where Domino can't actually save it anymore. So so you have to export it and then re-import it every single time. But usually it'll take me around 50 hours to make a low quality thing and then 100 hours to make a high quality thing. And then if it's something absolutely monstrous like Unify or like Tau, then it's going to be hundreds of hours. Yeah, imagine someone remixing Unify. That would be really cool. Um, it, Once we do the final version, people should seriously remix things from it because that'd be really great. Install the 4 GB patch. I already have, but the thing is, it won't let you. It still won't let you save over 15 million notes, and this is like 16 million notes now. I think. Hang on, how many million notes was the last update? It was um it 14.9 million notes. So yeah, it's well over 15 million notes now. So yeah, so let's have a listen to a few other sections that we've changed, and if you guys actually hear anything that needs to be fixed or might be improved, please tell me, because like I think after that we can probably end the stream because we've been going for a little while, an hour and 40 minutes. An average notes per second limit for a MIDI, there probably is. If you don't allow duplicated notes, hang on a second, I will get out my calculator and figure this out. So if you do, if you do, the maximum number of notes you can do at one particular time is 128 because there's 128 keys, and then if we do the maximum beats per minute, which is 512, then we can go 128 times something over 512. Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't be something over 512. I don't actually know how to maths it out, but the most number of notes you can get going at one time if you don't do duplicated notes. So like so if you don't have, say, two C notes going at the same time, then the most number of notes you can do is 128 times 65,536 because that's the largest number of tracks you can have, and that is 8 million notes at once, which is going to absolutely kill anything that you throw it at, because like MIDI synths, they go well with having a lot of notes in quick succession. Like if we go over to this is a good example because it's if we go through and we have a look at all of that stuff, it's a lot of notes, but it's not all at the same time. So it has kind of time to prepare for things. But if you do 8 million notes all at once, it has to start 8 million different sounds all at the same time, which seriously hurts. If you want to do a lot of lag while you're making a black MIDI, you can make notes overlap each other and then it really, really lags. But if we yeah, the limit of a MIDI is 93 trillion notes. And assuming a PPQ of 65,535 and all the notes that fit in a bar, and BPM is 60 million, which is the maximum tempo, that'd be about 125,000 times 93 trillion notes with 8 in a second. That is ridiculous. That does sound about right as well. So let's have a listen to Septet for the Dead Princess because that's the last thing that we really edited. Yeah, Gingius did do that MIDI with 93 trillion notes, and it's like in so many zip files that it's actually, you can download it and then it's a reasonable size until you try to extract it, and then it extracts to like terabytes and terabytes. And yeah, higher notes per second doesn't necessarily mean quality, although it sometimes can. Like, if you look at the final crash of this, which is way over that way, and we won't be able to scroll over there while it's playing, but it's got a pretty high notes per second, but it's good quality still. But the thing that you need to keep in mind is there was a Unify sounds a lot like Septet for the Dead Princess. That's because this section is Septet for the Dead Princess. You can barely hear me. Do I need to amplify myself more? If I go to filters and I change it up to 6 decibels, how's that now? Is that better? Am I distorting? I can't actually hear myself, so I don't know. By high notes per second, you're talking about ooh levels of notes per second. In the billions, yeah, don't go there. It really isn't good. But anyway, I think that's all we really have to talk about with Unify. So we can probably finish the stream in the next little bit. So like, is there any other things we need to look at? Are there any other things we need to look at or questions that I should answer or anything before we finish? Oh, that's right, 10-second delay in silence. So like I can't actually. So you guys will have only just heard it. Sustained crashes. Yeah, those things. High notes per second with high velocity creates horrible squeaks. It certainly does, but only with rendered audio. So like usually it just sounds bad when you play it in real time, but if you do it rendered, then you get this really cool overtone effect. So it's like there's a whole lot of maths involved, but people like Zdoc, who was a person who made black MIDIs years and years and years ago, listen to Epitome of an Enigma if you want to. It's the best black MIDI ever made, in my opinion. He did this really cool thing where he'd take funnels and see how I've chopped it so that it's, I think, 64th notes or 128th notes. So, yeah, we're talking about Kepi's MIDI converter or anything else that renders audio in not real time. So, anyway, yeah, so he does this thing where he would chop this so that you're getting, if you get 440 notes per second, then it'll sound like an A. The sound quality is low. That is probably because it's turned up too loud. So we should let's turn it down to 5.3. That's probably better. So he would do a thing where he would chop it to 440 notes per second, and then you get a pitch at 440 hertz. So you would get the note A, I think. And it's a really difficult thing to do. I've tried to do it before and I haven't managed. I think I managed a little bit in Tau, but it took hours and hours and hours of work. So if you want to do that, please do that. It's really, really cool, just difficult. But I think that's all we really have to do, other than why funnels sound like they do in ZDoc's sound font has too much reverb. It depends on which one you're using because he's done heaps and heaps and heaps of them. So like even the one that I'm using, which is one that was made by Music Master, if you listen to it, you can hear there's quite a bit of reverb. ZDoc ZDYCGP. I don't know which sound font that is. I do not have it. If it's a ZDoc one, it's probably good though, so I probably want it. Um, I don't know, but I think now is the time to hit the export button and we'll see what happens. So let's scroll over to a thing that we can actually want. That looks cool. We can look at this while it exports. So you hit the export button and we want to go beta 12 R3A4 because it's just the thing, and you can't actually see the window where it is because window because the window capture is completely broken. I'm gonna have to try and fix it sometime. Oh, ZDoc Yamaha concert grand piano. It's I think I might have heard that before and it's pretty good. But anyway, so we're exporting it. We're exporting the file and now Domino is not responding. So just give it a second and it doesn't show up as grayed out on the live stream, but it is not responding anymore because we're exporting it and it's going to take absolutely ages. So we can probably finish the live stream now because we can't do anything for the next half hour. But thanks everyone for coming along and having a nice chat. Yeah, time to wait for hours. It'll probably only be around 45 minutes or so, so not too bad. It's not the worst thing because is Black MIDI compatible with metal? Like, as in metal songs? You could make a Black MIDI out of a metal song, and that would probably actually work quite well, I think. Someone should try that sometime. Sustained MIDIs take longer. Yes, they do. There aren't too many overlapping notes in this, though, so it doesn't take that long. But if you do tons and tons and tons of notes that all overlap with each other, then it can take literally all night to export. So, yeah, if people aren't subscribed, if you want to see more of this sort of thing or you want to see the final product when I release it, you should subscribe, and then you might get notified depending on whether YouTube likes me or not. And join the Discord server if you want to keep talking about how to make Black MIDIs because I'll be there and I'll probably answer your questions within a little while. And let's just have the quick word from our sponsor. And I had to add this little reminder that it's a joke due to what happened last time we streamed, if anyone remembers that. Top heavy. By top heavy, I mean that it has too much treble. So like you can't hear the bass lines anymore. So you need to do things like you'll have the bass line on one track and then you copy and paste the bass line onto another track at the same time so that it sounds stronger. But yeah, I think we're pretty much done now. So see yous. Bye.